Well, I want to say congratulations to our football team for their victory this past weekend and all the seniors who played their last game here. It's definitely a great moment, great time on the weekends, especially when you can build recruiting into the momentum of the football program with all sports. It builds community, it builds an unbelievable fan base that obviously spills over. So I thank our fans for showing up today. I know it was a crazy weather moment outside, so I appreciate everybody that showed up, all our students and our fans. Credit to Prairie View. They did a tremendous job in their game plan, especially in moments in the first half. The second half, the last 6 minutes, they did a tremendous job as well. Very characteristic of coaches' teams. They play to the very end, and they're nonstop. So I'm proud of our guys for getting the victory, proud of our moments that we had. Sean Phillips, 10 rebounds in that first half. Obviously, Jacob Cruz. Awesome to see Jevon get some rhythm out there as well. So, great win.
Questions?
Jacob, what was kind of the adjustment at halftime for you that got you shooting the way that you did?
Really just, getting good opportunities. We pushed the pace. Their dudes were scrambling. I saw a few go in, and obviously that's all it takes for, a great rhythm. So, hard work pays off.
Jevon, you had that little run to start the game. What was feeling good early on for you?
I think I just got some good looks, and then I saw, they were good looks, saw one go in. Like you said, that always makes someone feel good in rhythm. Yeah.
Jevon, on both ends of the floor, how have you seen your all's length and size be able to affect teams and what they're trying to do?
Yeah, on defense, it's definitely very disruptive, especially at the rim. It's helped out a lot knowing everybody, or a lot of dudes on the team can really have your back, especially at the rim. Offensively, it creates a lot of mismatches. We have a lot of dudes who are bigger with length, as you mentioned, and I think it just creates a lot of mismatch opportunities, and the dudes have done a good job of finding those mismatches.
Coach, what do you think went into the 14 turnovers tonight, and how do you think you guys can correct that a little bit?
Well, I think just being antsy, when you look at how we turned it over, T.O. Barrett can't have 3 turnovers with his minimal minutes, especially as backup point guard. In addition to that, it was just a characteristic of their team. I thought they shrunk some gaps and was able to get their hands on some basketballs, and I thought from a standpoint of offensively, we got to be able to grab and also get into a type of attack position, and I think we were standing straight up in some moments.
Coach, after more of a slower offensive start, really opened things up, especially that 20-2 run.
Yeah.
What did you see from the offense that allowed it to really get kick-started?
Well, I saw some stops on the defensive side, first of all, and I saw guys being unselfish. I think our time per possession, meaning individual possession, was minimized, and we were able to find the open man. Prairie View is a great defensive team that creates havoc and chaos, and it was very seldom that we could run plays or sets because they had a matchup zone in addition to a man-to-man, so they make you think. So we just ran our man stuff against that zone and was able to find some creases and some openings. And I thought our guys were able to read the game and just play it the right way and get off the basketball and find the next open man.
Jacob, 8 boards tonight. You've kind of been all over the place on the glass this year. What's
First
gone into
dunk
that?
of his career.
But what's kind of gone into that extra rebounding effort this year?
It's been an emphasis, obviously, any way I can stay on that floor, because, sometimes, hopefully it doesn't, but, eventually sometimes there's going to be that game where the shot's not falling. And, that's one thing that can keep me, in the game, in a rhythm, confident, it sparks energy for the team. It helps them out. And, obviously, being a guy, I want to help the team. I learned a lot from last year, and that was one thing I definitely took into this year and wanted to emphasize in my game.
Coach, you talked a lot last year about how Caleb keyed in on everything but three-point shooting a lot more, like rebounding, for example, and that helped his three-point shooting. Have you seen a similar process with Jacob so far this year?
I think Jacob can answer what he learned from Caleb, maybe. from watching, if you don't mind him doing that.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'm curious about that question again. Because I asked him before. I just want to see what his answer is going to be.
Yeah, he's actually, you know, a really good friend. I mean, even after the season, and I learned a lot from him last year. He's helped me a lot, you know, from the mental part, and then obviously the game part. And you know, watching him do that in games where he wasn't shooting too well, it led him to hit big shots for us, even if his field goal percentage wasn't what it was. But he never thought about it because he was so keyed in on what we call EGBs. So definitely helped me out on that end, and continues to this very day. I mean, after every game, I get a text message from him. So you know, that's great to see. You know, a good friend like that. You know, continue to watch and you know, mentor me too.
So the thing I would add to that is that Cruz last year, I thought he put and hung his hat on shot making and just shooting, whereas now he's attempting to be a complete player, and the more he rebounds, he's becoming a complete player on both sides. It's different ways you can impact on defense, different ways you can impact the game altogether. And I think when you look at these guys to my right and left, they both do a great job of the intangibles because of their versatility. Jevon is a versatile player. Cruz is a versatile player. We got 2 turnovers trying to find Cruz after he made 2 straight threes, I believe. And those are unselfish behaviors that I think continues to show up, but he didn't have to hunt shots. I think that adds to field goal percentage increase and 3-point percentage increase, and just being ready to shoot the open shot as his teammates find him.
Coach, I'm curious what your thoughts are on the pairing of Mark Mitchell and Sean Phillips so far. Kind of what you liked about that, and where you feel like they can still improve.
Well, right now it's a small sample size of games. I want to read the analytics a little bit more to see where they are. But ultimately, like Jevon answered earlier, it gives us length, it gives us rebounding, it gives us physicality, it gives us a vertical threat offensively and defensively. It gives us different things, especially being able to control rim protection in addition to 3-point contests. So ultimately, I want to kind of just save that to get more facts, but right now it's just a small sample size, and I'm loving what I see just with the length and athleticism. I want to see more production when it comes down to dominant plays and sort of things like that.
Coach, the defensive performance tonight, I think you limited Prairie View to, I think, 12 points over the first 13 minutes. What allowed the defense to get out to that quick start and really limit the Panthers early on?
I think guys were able to minimize their transition. We were able to take good shots offensively, which allows our defense to set up. And transition-wise, we were able to match up, get in a stance before they ended up, which is a strength of theirs, to get easy baskets. Ultimately, I thought our guys communicated a lot more. I thought they were able to help the helper. I thought we were able to discourage easy passes and sort of get deflections. Ultimately, what I do think is our guys do fall in love with the understanding of scouting reports, knowing who the shooters are, knowing what the strengths of their teams are. It's almost redundant being able to yell out plays while they're happening to help someone from getting backdoor cut, because ultimately that's what they were trying to run to begin the game and to begin the half. So we were able to stop some things initially. We wasn't able late in the game to stop their second thrust of opportunities. We stopped the play, but now what happens when the play breaks down? We got to be able in those moments to defend a little better, and I think that'll add more to our not only our depth but our production on the defensive stats.
Jacob, ahead of the season, Coach said he wants to see you make 100 threes this year. What does it mean to have a coach who instills that type of confidence in your shot?
It makes that green light, a lot more brighter. To have, a head coach at this level give you that, confidence. I definitely want to take advantage of that every game, and so far so good. So I'm just going to keep that rolling.
Coach, just
Question for Jevon, please.
Yeah, Jevon, I mean, you guys held them to 37.9% from the field tonight. Kind of what went into the defensive performance for y'all?
I mean, that's just such a big emphasis for us going into every game. You know, sparks everything for us. We know each game, no matter who it is, that's one thing we really got to key on. I think I don't know, like he mentioned, a lot of dudes, everyone on this team does a really good job of understanding the scouting report going into the game. So I think we just had a really good understanding of what they wanted to do and what we had to take away from them.
What question you have for me?
We saw Anor and Trent Burns in the layup lines today. That seems to be closer to the game than they've been.
So
at
let me
any
give you an
point
update.
this season.
Let me give you an update. Drew, get this down, Drew. Drew, start recording, Drew. No, first of all, I'll say this. I listen to our doctors. I listen to the doctors and trainers and parents. We have to understand these are young men and they have parents. So I follow rules and regulations of parents and the importance of following internal doctors and our sports team. And they do a great job. Honor Boateng, barring no interruption, will be on minimal minutes next game, okay? It was great to see him in practice. I'm glad he got a chance to warm up, and barring anything, any setbacks, he should be playing in minimal minutes. Trent Burns is the normal routine that we announced at the very beginning. He'll have a doctor's appointment, I believe, next week, and we'll see what the doctors say again. But great to see him out there warming up in a no contact. So that's no contacts. Warm-ups is no contacts, no defense. So he's been cleared no contact. However, he can't go 5-on-5 yet. Trent Pierce, I'm just waiting on doctor's updates, just in terms of how he's feeling, different things like that. He has not practiced.
Coach, Jaden's son continues to be impactful for you guys on both ends of the floor. Has anything in particular stood out to you guys about his play thus far this season?
He's very cerebral. For a guy that averaged 20 points per game, he's playing the game in an unselfish way because the game was taken from him before. And being able to sit out, I think he plays with the amount of joy and unselfishness that you need to keep your units connected. Being able, if you look at his minutes, although he's not starting, he's almost playing starter minutes. But he's efficient. He's very efficient. He is a cerebral player. He plays on both sides of the basketball. He's able to rebound. He's able to catch and shoot. He's able to get assists. And I think he spaces the floor for Jevon and as well as Cruz. In addition to our other guys, he makes it simple because of what the scouting report says. So for a guy that averaged 20 points a game, I think he's as unselfish. He's as unselfish as any player that we've had in our program since the very beginning of me being here.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.